No, we're back again. We are live. It is Friday. I call it Friday because if you're in my community, you know you're beginning those airdrops, or perhaps you've already received your MXX in airdrop, so that's why I call it Friday. And you are here with myself and my friend GodCloud. We are the MOB musicians on blockchain. We're also Onchain Music Cabal. And we're here caballing, talking about music on chain. Today's topic is, does Web3 music make sense yet? I'm really excited to get into it. But before we do, I bet some of you can guess, but for those of you who can't, because you just got here, we got some really exciting announcements. I'm going to pass it over to GodCloud to share the great news with you. Take it away, GodCloud.
Yo, thank you, Maximillian. And yes, so both myself and Maximillian are going to, oh, wait, she's over here. Both myself and Maximillian are going to be at Ethereum Denver, and we're going to be doing something special for everybody. And everybody who's talked to me in the past few months knows I'm a huge proponent of decentralized physical infrastructure networks, otherwise known as DPINs. I have a piece of hardware from Demo Mobile in my car right now that they figured out a way to take the data that my car spits out and monetize that. So as a musician, anytime I'm doing the dreaded car test, you got to listen to your music, make sure that the levels are bumping in the car. Go into your car, you listen to your tunes. I now do that, take a drive, and hey, my car tests are now monetized because I have this piece of deep in hardware earning me some dough. The one that I have is the AutoPi. That's AUTO hyphen PI from Demo. These things sell for like $350, and I think there's a bit of a wait to get one. But Maximilian and I are going to be giving one away to get y'all hyped up for ETH Denver. Maximilian, do you want to tell them the rules and how we're gonna decide who wins one, or?
Sure, it's going to be relatively simple, but the idea is we hope that you would follow myself. We hope that you would be following GodCloud, and we'll be releasing some clips of the show, and we would love for you to maybe reshare like your favorite clip, maybe with a comment. And when you do this, you will be doing all the steps. There's a little details, like you have to fill out this little form, but it's very simple. But basically, that's it. You'll be following us, share one of the clips from the show, and I will see you at ETH Denver. For the finest details, we'll put them all on the webpage.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And listen, if you got into Web3 late, let's say you missed when Bitcoin was cheap, let's say you missed when NFTs were all the rage, you know, it's not too late to get in on DPINs right now. Hey, that should be the slogan. It's not too late to get in on DPINs. But it sounds like DPINs the adult diapers, and that's not what we're saying. But yeah, I'm telling you, DPIN is it's an emerging tech. It's getting super popular. It's super hot right now. I've seen people or companies that make wearable DPINs, so they're tracking your biometrics and whatnot. You earn crypto off of that. Stuff that you track the weather, you earn crypto off of that. So this one, it's really cool. It goes in your car, like I said, and hey, earn money while you drive. I love mine. I've cashed out some of my demo token to fill my tank up. So hey, now my driving is paying for itself, and I don't even got to do DoorDash or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't even got to do Lyft or Uber.
But just imagine. So wait, real quick. I'm just thinking, like, what if someone does do DoorDash, Lyft, and Uber? Could they use DPIN?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. That's something that I have said to people too. Like, if you want to supplement your income from those things, there you go. Pop the DPIN in there, and you're driving and earning even more so than before.
That's what I'm talking about. Stacking those coins. So if you don't mind, for someone who's not familiar with the whole concept of what this is, would you mind sharing in a way that anyone could understand who's not familiar with the technology?
Yeah, for sure. So imagine it like this, right? You have your phone, and your phone, you do a lot of stuff on there. So you're accumulating or creating a lot of data, right? There are companies that take that and sell it, right? And how much money do you get when your phone company
Dick
does that?
nada.
Exactly. So these deep end companies are selling, certain points. They're not selling like your personal information or stuff like that, but they're just getting a read on your car, because somebody wants to pay for that. There's some that track noise pollution. There's some that help track the maps in your city to help update the Google Maps and all that type of stuff too. So you're helping aggregate information or some type of resource or something, and that is being sold and distributed by the company that makes the hardware, and you're getting cut in on it this time. It's not like before where you just get nothing, where it's like, hey, give you a little pat on the back, say, hey, thanks for telling us your deepest and darkest secrets. They're taking specific information. It's not invasive. It's not like they're selling your phone number, your email to the dark web or anything like that. So yeah, a lot of different deep end companies out right now, and I get really excited when I see bigger conversations happening around it. And if I could be a part of it by giving out some hardware to people, which I've been fortunate enough to be able to do, I'm gonna keep doing that. So yeah. So I hope that explains it in a nutshell.
Yeah, let me see if I can reflect back to you correctly what you shared, and maybe it will help you, add anything that I'm missing. So what I'm getting is that this depend device, although there are many different kinds, this is the kind that goes inside your car,
Mhm.
and as you drive around, when it's active, and can is it always active, or can the user turn it off, or why would someone want to do that?
Well, okay. So you can disconnect it, but where I live, it's nice to kind of be able to, let's just say, if I wake up and my car is out in my driveway, you know, I can track where the car is because that thing is in there and it connects to the app, and I can see where the car is, um, anywhere. It's on the network and whatever. So as a security measure, I would suggest leaving it in your car. Like you can it's black so it can hide well. Unfortunately, I've had my car, uh, you know, broken into, essentially, and that made it. They didn't take that because it hides well. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so you can disconnect it, but while it yes, so I know you're reflecting this back to me, and I'm going off on a tangent, so I'm sorry. Yes, you can
Actually,
disconnect
I
it, but
I
for
wanted
security,
you
I
to
wouldn't.
no, I wanted you to tell me this. This was because I asked you some questions. I asked, why would when or why would somebody want or need to do that, and is it problematic to disconnect it? I really I want to know.
Well, I wouldn't say it's problematic
Okay.
to disconnect it. No, like you can. If you want to bring it in the house, that's fine too. But like I said, for me, for my own personal reasons, I think of it as like security measure. Got the thing in the car, just boom, track it on my phone real quick. Excuse me. So if your car isn't a smart car, which mine isn't. So I can hook that up to my car, and now I could, check the battery voltage and like how much like gas I'm getting, per or how many miles per gallon I'm getting, this or that. You can really check a lot about your car from just in the app as long as the thing's connected. So, um, so you can disconnect it, sure, but I just leave mine in there because people be stealing cars around here.
Right. So this is something new. So I'm really glad I asked you this because something that I'm now understanding is that it also has these practical benefits as well, like being able to tell you information about your car. I
Hmm.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
Turns
yeah,
your turns your stoic car into a smart car.
yeah, and it's stuff that I never even would have thought to think about. It's something that if you're not, and I guess if you don't like know a lot about cars and have these tools around, it's hard to even gather that information, and it puts it all on a graph for you so you can see if the performance is fluctuating at all. You know what I mean? You can put reminders in there saying, hey, remind me to get my oil changed, this or that. You can also look up mechanic shops that are near you. Uh, for whatever, need. Got a flat, shit, let me go in here and see what's going on. Where can I take it to get it dealt with or whatever. But and they've made a lot of upgrades too. And you're gonna like this. They're actually gonna be migrating. They're gonna be migrating to base soon. They're on Polygon.
That was my next question. I was just gonna ask you which blockchain it's on.
Yeah, so they're on Polygon, and which it's
Oh,
funny because
look at my sweatshirt. I got the Polygon sweatshirt on today.
I
Oh,
can't
you
tell.
can see. Thank you, Polygon, for the beautiful sweatshirt. I really appreciate it.
Nice, but yeah,
Yeah.
they're on Polygon, and and to cover this too, because I know sometimes with crypto tokens, it's almost impossible to cash them out and still have it, be at the value that it is when you have them. Like through bridging and swapping, you get so beat up. If you got like $100, you end up with 40 after all the process and everything. But it was pretty easy for me to swap out, the little bit that I had accumulated. I just wanted to see how easy this is to like take out like $40. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, and it was pretty seamless. I swapped it from Polygon or I bridged it from Polygon over to Base, turned it into Base ETH, and then cashed it out. And it was pretty seamless. Or no, I think I turned it into I turned it to Base ETH and then cashed it out. Yeah, it was pretty simple, pretty easy. Did it all on my phone, like boom, boom, boom. I was like, okay, cool. So you drive around, earn demo token. Then you can cash it out and do whatever you want with the money. Simple.
This makes a beautiful gift for any Uber drivers or anyone driving. This makes a beautiful gift. Can you imagine someone gives you one of these as a driver?
Yeah, I wish I had one back in my old life. You know what I mean? That would have been
I
great.
do know.
Would have been great.
Yeah, that's so cool. So let me ask you a question. So like, um, is this like open source technology? Can people build things for this, or you know?
I don't know if the demo AutoPie is built on open source. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay, I was just curious, like if more utility. You said they were working on it, so I was just curious if like more utilities coming, or if this is like something that if there was a GitHub somewhere, where people are
Oh,
adding to it.
I'm not sure about the demo one specifically, but I'm sure there's all sorts of deep in everything popping up nowadays. So I'm sure you could find something somewhere. There's so many. There's really so many, and I'll tell you what. I'm trying to get. I work in wrestling, and I also work in music, right? So my big like advice is like if you're a traveling musician, or even if you're a wrestler, you travel. The pair that you want the you want a demo device plugged in, right? Then you want Natix, which is uses your phone, right? And that's something where you are
How do
tracking
I spell that?
Natix. So N as in Nancy, A is in Apple, T is in Tom, I is in Igloo, X is in X-ray, Natix.
Okay.
Um, and I believe that one's like a mapping related one because you have to have your phone camera on, put your phone on like a tripod or something while it's on your dashboard. And they will even give you missions. They'll say like, "Hey, drive 5 miles on this street." Da 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 da. Now you're in Grand Theft Auto, but with significantly
That's
less.
kind of cool.
Yeah, it's really dope. Um, and again, I don't drive that much. I really don't drive that much.
That
So
was my next question is, does a person need to drive a lot in order to make this worthwhile?
no, no. I mean, me personally, and I'll be honest. Like how much I drive, again, like I don't drive a lot at all. I probably make anywhere from like $2 to $5 a week with me not really driving much at all. So if someone really drives, they're gonna make some. They're gonna make some significant coin off of this. I don't leave the fucking house. I'm sorry, I just don't. I take my kid to school, and that's not far. So and other than that, I really don't.
Making those beats, yo,
Yeah, I'd be in the house. But
in
yeah,
the
so
studio.
if you are a driver, if you're a traveling musician, and even for my professional wrestling homies out there, you get Demo plugged up, you get Natix set up, You know, you've got two D-pin devices earning you money, while you're just driving, doing your thing. And there's another one too. I think it's called Blueberry. It's like a ring that you wear, and it tracks your biometrics or something. I'm
Okay,
not.
that's totally for me.
I know, yo. I'm like, yo. If like back when I was like really like like wrestling and everything, like traveling and wrestling. I'm like, yo, that'd been perfect because you're driving with the D pin and the Nadix, and you got the ring on, so you're getting in shape, getting healthy, and you're getting paid off of that too. That's like the perfect D pin trifecta for any like traveling musician or athlete or whatever.
So sexy.
So yeah, like these things.
This is great for athletes too,
That's what I'm
because they
saying.
travel.
Yeah, right. If you're like me in my wrestling days, oh, that would have been perfect for me, yo. Driving across the freaking state, driving to another state, whatever, da 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 da, this or
Yeah.
that. Going to the gym, driving to the gym, da 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 da, making money on all of that. That'd be
Yo, actors, you need these actors and models. I used to drive a lot all around LA going to auditions, like so many auditions, like going to 5, 6, 8 auditions a day, driving all around, making circles going back because you have to go back at 3 o'clock.
oh god,
you know? But this is great for actors too. You know, now I'm kind of like, I'm just thinking like so many people find themselves rolling around the city.
right? That's what I'm saying. Depend. It's the best, in my opinion, anyway. It's the best use case of blockchain that I've seen. Other than like, okay, blockchain is great at record keeping. Cool. What else can we do with it? And we've seen different ideas and different, use cases, but DeepIn was just makes sense. DeepIn is the thing that when I tell people who aren't in the crypto about it, they're like, "Oh shit, for real? Oh wow, okay, that sounds cool."
It is cool.
Yeah.
So, what's the blockchain integration part? Is it like where all the infos, the data is kept, and do you have access to your data? And do you have access to like all the data? Just curious.
I don't know if you have access when you say all the data. Like, do you
I mean,
mean?
like, is there a dashboard that says like there's so many DPIN users, or is there is there like some like do you get to see a map of like all the info? Like, is there like a DPIN hub where you can see
Oh,
like, you
I
know what I
don't.
mean?
I mean, I'm sure you could probably look up other people's like wallets or whatever. I don't know if you could see. Honestly, I've never tried to see anybody else's like information.
Well, not like someone personally, but like for example, like for your city or for an area, or like I was just curious, like if
To see how many like other DPIN users or something are in
or
here.
like do you get to see like the data that's being shared? So like if you said that for example, this was really exciting to me by the way. You said that for example that one of the things that DPIN can measure is noise pollution.
Yeah.
Okay? So like for example, is there like a place where you could look and see the DPIN data noise pollution that's been collected and see where is it the noisiest, for example?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I've never looked into that. I've never looked into that, but you should be able to. I assume you should be able to. Now I'm curious. I'm getting a laptop out. Getting my old
Yeah, it's
2000.
exciting. Yeah, we love this stuff.
So,
So, friends, if you're going to be at ETH Denver, especially, we'd love to meet you. So please, I will soon make this form available, and I'm looking forward to seeing you. So if you're going to be at ETH Denver, definitely give us a holler. Let us know because the podcast studio is going to be there and we're going to be podcasting live from ETH Denver. We'd love for you to stop by and say hello. You can introduce yourself to everyone if you'd like for a moment. We have a few extra chairs at the table. And something that I did last time, and I'm going to do it again, is, invite my friends who are there live at ETH Denver to come and take a seat for a few minutes and say hi to everyone. Everyone really enjoyed that last year, so we're going to do it again. So it would be great if you could come and take a picture with GodCloud and I. We'd love that.
hell yeah.
Yeah. So what are you finding?
I'm checking into the Silencio thing right now. There's a lot. I'm gonna have to read this all. Yeah. This is really interesting, because I'm like, man, there. So I think the question is, the company is essentially middlemaning this data, right? Because there's somebody over here who's like, damn, we need some noise pollution data, or damn, we need some data on battery voltages or some shit like that. Shit, it might even be a car battery company, you know? So the depends are like, hey, we'll make some hardware, we'll get all this stuff together. You pay us and the people who are helping do it, right?
Yeah.
So, so I think the key is to find out who is paying to see. See, now here starts the rabbit hole.
This is what we like. This is what we
Yep,
like.
there we're digging. Yeah,
Hacker mind, hacker mind. Let's go, let's go, let's
yeah.
go.
So I guess now the key is to see who is, who are the clients of the depend companies. How's that, working?
Sexy.
Yeah, I'm really curious. There's so, like I said, there's so many companies out there now who in Web 2 is partnering up with, because that's who's doing it.
The
That's who's
companies.
doing it.
So I would say that the things that they are measuring reflect the interests of the companies that are partners.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. 100%.
So
Yeah.
so the question could be, for example, if we were going to reverse engineer this, would be who is interested in solving noise pollution?
Yeah. And something that when I first Googled it, something with the World Health Organization popped up, you know. So, but they were just saying, well, this is how we measure or how we define noise pollution. I'm not sure if they're the ones who are requesting this data, but yeah,
Policymakers could definitely be interested in something like
yeah,
that. You
these are
know,
some
people
questions.
who are, yeah.
These are some great questions. Yeah, here we go, rabbit hole. You guys just witnessed myself and Maximilian jumping down a rabbit hole right now, so you guys are lucky.
Like, I know GodCloud says I'm gonna get canceled, but I'm proud to be a nerd. This is like, this is like indulging. This is what it looks like when you indulge your curiosity, and you just go there. Just put on your Secret Service hat for a moment. Go ahead and you know, be that double agent. Ask those
Like that.
questions. Yeah, it's interesting, right? And so, I like this. I like this a lot. I mean, when I first heard of this, I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then instantly I was like, oh, but then who's behind Dpen?
Mhm.
And, like, who is behind Dpen? Do you know who's behind the technology?
Do I know who's behind it? All I know is
Yeah.
that the stuff that I've been using is from Demo Mobile,
Yeah.
um, and I don't, like I think I follow the guys on the actual, like, the people who actually are like in the company, like individually, like follow them on Twitter, but
Okay, cool.
I don't really know to the effect of like what they were doing prior to this
But I
or
mean, like, is this like a few cool people that had this really interesting idea, or is it like a huge
yes.
conglomerate? Oh, it's a few people.
From what I understand, yeah, it was a few people who
Cool.
got together,
Ow.
yeah, put this thing together. Yeah, check them out at Demo Mobile. They do spaces and everything. They're on
I'm
Twitter.
already following, but I'm not
Okay.
following the individuals, and I want to, because that's
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah. I think the main guy, his name is Alex. Yeah, follow them. They have spaces and everything too. So and the deep end community is pretty still pretty small.
Where is there? So where is the Deep End community? Is it like Discord or Telegram or where they?
It's on Twitter. Yeah, it's on Twitter. You
Is there
didn't know?
like a hashtag or something? No, I didn't, because the only thing I knew about was the spaces, because I went to the spaces. I followed you to the spaces or something.
Okay. Yeah. No, from what I've seen, I mean, there's probably, people on Discord and whatever too.
Ah,
But yeah, and they usually pair it with RWAs and everything with real world assets. But um, which is essentially just like tokenized things. Um, but
tokenize your guitar.
yeah,
Tokenize your
yeah. But
keyboard.
I'll be honest, I'm not that big on the RWAs. Like I like I respect them because I accidentally made an RWA back in 2021. Um, it was a couple 100-year-old Shakespeare book that I got the opportunity to work with this gallery out of London, and I'm like, yo, why don't we turn it into an NFT? I didn't think, like we're essentially tokenizing this asset. We had the insurance, the provenance. What else did we have in there? The insurance, provenance, um, something else in there too. I think maybe something with like armored car transportation guaranteed. You know
Ooh,
what I mean? Something wild. It was a whole fucking thing. It was a whole fucking thing because it was an
sounds hot.
artifact. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
an artifact, and it was a lot to bake into the metadata for this thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Sounds hot though. That sounds like a hot item. That's like
Yeah,
some shit that I would love. I love books. I'm a book nerd too.
yeah. It's it didn't sell, unfortunately, because we were, people. I don't think that the space was quite ready for something like that. And I think RWAs on paper they sound cool, but it's like
But
who's really and again, it's like I don't think that these systems are quite ready yet for RWAs anyway.
they are, because did you hear that my hometown is on fire?
What?
Look, I'm saying there's a place in the world for RWAs because, like, did you hear my hometown is on fire?
Oh, yes, yes,
So
but
RWAs are a real solution because, like, I mean, I would love to hear the announcement soon that the fires have stopped, etc. But, you know, uh, paper burns.
yeah, no, that's true. But
So
what's
I think
happening?
RWAs is like is a decentralized asset documentation in a digital form
Yeah,
is like protection against fire, right?
no, for sure. But you got to get everybody to get on board with it, and that's the problem.
No, you don't have to get everyone to get on board with it because the people who don't get on board with it, if their documents get lost in a fire, they'll be standing in a long line and the rest of us won't.
Well, I mean, that's true too. But like until we can get every like how can I put this? Like every paperwork clerical entity like rocking with this shit, it's not gonna because we need everybody on board with it for it to fully work. So people, and I think I was telling you about this before with the RWAs, like they've tokenized debt, right? Now
Nope,
that's
nope,
all.
no. You gotta unpack it. Gotta unpack it, please.
Oh, okay. So people take out loans, right? And the RWA companies, what they do is that they like buy up a bunch of debt, right? And then they tokenize the debt, and now they sell to other people debt token. So as people pay the debt back, these people are rewarded for holding the debt token. But what fucks it all up is if somebody defaults on the loan, now they got to take them to court. It's a whole thing. And this has all happened. This has all happened with actual RWA companies. So the RWA model isn't as airtight to me as DeepIn is. You know what I'm saying? There's still so much that could go wrong on the I don't want to say the Web 2 side, but I guess that would be, there's still so much that could go wrong on the Web 2 side with RWAs that just doesn't make me feel comfortable. And that's why I kind of cringe when people talk about RWAs and DPINs. It's like, can't we just talk about DPINs? Like, even though it's like, okay, I get it. There are two, emerging uses of not even emerging. They've been going on for it's been going on for a while, but the RWAs, they just kind of stress me out. Oh, are you talking? Oh, I can't hear you. You got your thing down? Uh-oh. I don't know what happened.
Oh, okay. I'm
There we
back.
go.
I'm back. Sorry. I'm like the professor in Back to the Future over here with all my wires and cords and
I
all
see
my
that.
microphones and stuff like that. But oh my gosh. Okay, so tokenized debt. You don't like it because of the way it's being used, or because of the concept of it?
Just because the fact that if if I'm holding this token and it comes from, and the liquidity of it comes from the people promising to pay back the loan that they took out to create the, you see, like, already it's like a lot, it's just not as,
So the
concise.
liquidity doesn't come from people buying the token?
No, it comes from, well, I guess it does, so to speak, but it's, if people don't pay back the debt,
Right. The
then
model is
it's,
broken.
yeah, right. And that's the thing. It's like people have defaulted on, on the loan. They couldn't pay it. And then the company, who's the RWA company, has then had to take them to court, you know? So now it's like, now it's too messy to me anyway. It's too messy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
too messy. And I don't even, it gives me anxiety even trying to explain it. But that's, that anytime I see like a space or whatever, or like a group chat, it's
I've
always
seen.
RWAs and depends, but I'm still not really seeing a solid like RWA thing. And I can, maybe, and if I'm wrong, somebody please DM me, say, hey, no, this is a good one. This works, and it works like
Throw
this,
it in the chat, fam.
Yeah, please do. But again, just about every depend that I've seen, it's like, okay, that makes sense. Oh, it does that? Okay, cool. Oh, you're gathering this information, and that's, you get this token. Okay, like I see people with weather tracking ones too, and
Ooh, now I know those will come in handy. Like I remember when after Art Basel, our friend Mike Nash, when we were visiting with our friend Hard Art and James and F Dot, and Mike Nash had to do a long drive, uh, and it was really helpful. He showed me this really cool app that he was able to see the weather in real time. He was able to know the condition of the roads and all kinds of other stuff. And I'm sure it's through, applications like this that collect this
mm,
data literally along every inch of the road. And it was not great weather, and so like it was cool to know that he was using this app that would always navigate him out of the way of the rain or the cold or the snow. It was really cool to see it.
nice. Yeah, and see, and granted, I don't know if that one was being fed like information gathered from deep ends or whatnot, but still, that
That's the
that's such a,
application.
what's that?
That's the application though. Like,
Yeah, 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 and it's so cooler, so much cooler than being like, oh, we have that token. You know what I mean? Like, I just, like, it actually, I feel like, damn, in the future, there could really be whole towns that are just like depend powered towns where everybody's working together to gather a resource or whatever, and then they could even sell that to other towns for them to, for them to use. Now the town can profit off of the sale of this information or whatever. And I know that they've been talking about privatizing weather tracking and all that shit. It's like, okay, like, even though people love getting the alerts on their phones, this and that, but hey, if they're going to privatize it, then we might as well all get, weather tracking depends set up so we can get a cut of the privatized, weather services and whatnot. You feel me? So yeah, I think that depends are fucking solid. I love them. I think that they are the way of the future. Best use case of blockchain I've ever seen. Um, so yeah, so I don't want. I know we've been talking for a minute. I don't got a ton of time. Um, but if you wanted to get into the music topic, we could probably do like 15 minutes on that, even though I know it's like a big topic.
no, no, this is good because we know exactly where we're going. Does Web3 music make sense yet? When GodCloud and I were talking about this, the first thing I wanted to do was um, define, not extensively, not exhaustively, but I wanted to define some of the parameters that I would choose to measure whether or not something makes sense. And by the term makes sense in this context, we decided that what it means is, does it perform well? Specifically, does it outperform the modes of music distribution in Web 2 modes? Did I explain that pretty well, GodCloud?
Yes, and and something I would just throw in, saying, does it outperform, I guess, parts of Web 2? Did we say that, or did we say does it outperform? Never mind. Yes, you said
No,
it great. You said it
outperform.
great.
Outperform is better. I could have definitely
Okay.
said it more smooth. Outperform. That's great. Where does Web3 outperform Web 2 music yet? Yet doesn't make sense yet. And so we defined some parameters, and so we want to present them. And GodCloud will share his perspective. I'll share mine, and you share yours. Leave it in a comment. And if you're watching this on the replay, you can still leave your comment. Because this is a conversation, right? Even if it's asynchronous, it's still a conversation, and we want to know what your thoughts are. So the first thing is opportunity to be first to market. This is one of GodCloud's. So
Oh, you want?
do you want to
Yeah. Okay.
extrapolate?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. So with Web3, obviously, it's 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 still relatively fresh in the scope of the masses. Even though there's people who have been involved in crypto since, like 2009, let's say. Um, and I guess there would have to have been people involved in it prior to that, because it didn't just pop up in 2009. It was being built, up until then. Um, so entering as a musician now, this is a lot of uncharted territory. And even telling my story, I've introduced a lot of people to finger drumming through Web3. It's super niche in Web2 and in general, but I've been able to, bring it into Web3 and kind of be and again, like I always say, I'm the first finger drummer on the blockchain. I was the first to be like, hey, here's an NFT with a drum machine in it, or sitting around just finger drumming, so yeah, if you have something unique enough, if your style is, your own, you can do something innovative here and be first at it. And as long as you don't fumble the bag, you can make something of yourself, make something of yourself with that shit. You feel me?
I do. Um, I want to go into the next one now because this totally makes sense. We talked about, use the word less saturated, the phrase less saturated. I feel like this is kind of connected a little bit. You said
Yeah,
Web3 is less saturated.
yeah, 1,000%. And how can I put this? So I find it easier for me to stand out. And again, I'm just talking about as myself, as a multi instrumentalist, as a finger drummer, as a rapper, as a singer, whatever whatever you want to say. Um, I can get more. How can I put this? More, I guess, more quality eyes and ears on my stuff than in Web 2. That's something we were talking about. You're talking about like people who align with your message. I feel like I've gained more more valuable connections in Web 3. And this isn't knocking my Web 2 homies at all, but you gotta understand that I was I was hitting like 50 million impressions a month on Facebook, you know, and tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, a month on Instagram, right? But you think that if I'm hitting those numbers, I'm probably making some great pals, probably meeting some lifelong homies, but not so much. Now, I don't know why that is, but in Web 3, it seems like um, there's not a lot of me in Web3. There's not a lot of finger drumming multi-instrumentalists here, and when I make an impact, it's really deeply felt, you know. So yeah, and granted, even though on Web2 Facebook, let's say there are groups dedicated to people who use MPC drum machines, but there's so much noise in there, and everybody's got one. It's just like, oh, whatever. But even, and I can recall even when I got off the stage at NFT NYC, Tommy D, he like stops me and he's like, wait a minute, somebody wants to know what this machine is. What is this? You know, that's cool. And I was the first finger drummer I was the first person to bring up like an MPC to NFT NYC. That's a lot of 3-letter things, but that's history right there. I made history with this.
That's a bar right there.
Yeah, first person with an MPC at NFT NYC in 2000.
Fucking bar.
For the year of our Lord AD. Boom.
But, the year of blockchain, yeah. Yeah, that's a bar. That's a bar. Definitely. I mean, like, I have nothing to add because, like, I definitely, like, agree. Well, there is one thing I had to add. When I was thinking about this, some people, they say, yeah, but blockchain is very niche. Like, they always like to go, only 3% of people use, and they say, like, it's like this very niche group, but it's like a group of people that is what I call primed for my offer of Web3 music. They're people who are already interested in crypto. I don't have to sell them on the value of this format. I don't have to sell them on the value of the currency. I don't have to sell them on the value of the technology or any of these things. And so these are people who already appreciate what I'm creating. And this, to me, is the ideal client, customer. It's the ideal connection. It's my ideal audience. And so I would rather have a smaller audience who's primed for my offer than a small percentage of a larger audience that's not primed. Or even a larger percentage of a larger audience that's not primed because they will not buy my product. And I care about making sales. So the most important thing is like alignment. And that's one thing that I have to say. If someone is already interested in Web3 and the technology here, and they like music, why would they not choose music that's on chain if they like it? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's a good point there. But I think you'll see in like I guess it's my business model. Like I try to put something somewhere for everybody. Because that 3% might be primed for your offer on chain. I'm like, hey, there might be some more people who are primed for my offers elsewhere. So I think I came into this space. And I think what makes me even think like this is because when I came into this space, it was through Clubhouse. And I didn't initially get on Clubhouse to get into Web3. It was just like chasing music and shit, right? I didn't even know about Web3 when I first got on Clubhouse, It wasn't until I think, so I got on Clubhouse at the end of 2020. Found out about Web3 in the last week or so of that, right? And and it took me until March 2021.
That was like that was my entrance.
Yeah, March. Okay. Yeah, that was when I sold that NFT, that finger drumming NFT. Pop Wonder bought it. $25. My first $25 of crypto because I could not figure out how to buy it at the time, and I was like, oh shit. Okay.
Get all it, right. GodCloud. Let's go. Shout out to Pop Wonder.
Yeah, shout out Pop. But yeah, and I think my whole time before that, I was thinking like, well, damn, how do I make this work for me? How do I get some value out of this? And around that time too, I had just launched GodCloud.org, and I think I told you too, I was selling my sample packs, but it was just a Google Drive link. I would just sell
I was teasing you, saying there's some guy out there going, he never sent me the link.
Oh yeah, yep.
I'm sure you did. I'm just teasing.
Oh yeah, no, I'd always make sure to, but that's how I was making money,
But
yo.
just the
That's what I was
idea that you
doing.
would have to do it manually is just like so like, oh God. The stress of that, I never could have, I never could have done like even if I wanted to do that and thought of that concept, the stress of knowing that I would have to do it manually would have been too much for me. I would have been
Yo,
I'm too much of a crazy squirrel.
shit. I mean, it was way easier than the other stuff that I was doing. So I'm like, hey, I
Hey.
if I gotta just give you access to some shit, fuck it, we're cool. But yeah, I'd have somebody like PayPal me or Cash App me the $5, and I'd send them the Google Drive link. And not until I talked to what's his name, Anno Domini, um, he was like, dude, get a website. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, bro, get a fucking website.
You need those friends to tell you what's up sometimes. Kick you in the
Yeah.
face, huh?
He's like, bro, get a website. The fuck are you doing? And I'm like, okay. And I got lucky, and GodCloud.org was available. And I was like, okay, I got that. And, boom, here we are. So my first few months on Clubhouse were me trying to make this website make money. Then Web3 came around. So now I'm like, okay. So in the process of me trying to figure out how to make the website make money, I'm also trying to figure out how to navigate Web3. So I think I've just been growing this, this, I guess, adding by putting the funnel together with all these different pieces
Yeah.
from that point on. So it's always been in my head, and I know, and when I was talking to Kane Mayfield at Basel, um, he was saying like, oh, like you're it was like I'm in a menage a trois or something with one bitch and then another bitch too or something he was saying. And I'm like, bro,
That's
like, nah,
right.
man, I'm just like like, if you want to call it, they're like, okay, I guess I'm the master of the menage. I mean, like, well, it's like riding a bike. You feel me? Or face.
Hey,
But
you can handle it. You can handle it.
yeah, but nah, like, it's. I just think that there's so many ways to create art and to make money with sound. Such a big audience to hit along the way. So fuck it, get them all, get them all. You want to
Absolutely.
listen to music? I got you. You want to make some music? I got you. Whatever. Come here.
Absolutely.
GodCloud.org.
That's right. GodCloud.org. It's interesting. This would be like I'm trying to remember if it was you and I that had this conversation, but it was some musician and myself, and we were saying that deciding no, I'm not going to put my music on that. I'm not going to sell it for dollars, or I'm only going to sell it like this. That would be like, I only want my videos played on MTV. I don't want them played on BET.
Mm-hmm.
When you get the same 30 cents for every video play. So
Yeah.
why not?
Oh, right. I don't know.
It's like you're being no, it's for real. It's elitism.
Yeah. And, like, and I can understand that some people just, they want to do it that way on blockchain, and some people don't want to touch blockchain. Like, I see like my buddies on Facebook all the time, like talking shit, like, oh, like you don't use Bandcamp, like you are still trying to stream, you don't use Bandcamp, and I'm
Oh
like,
my God,
and I don't hate anything, but
whenever
it's like,
somebody goes like this, I start hating.
yeah, yeah, they're hating when they start doing that head
I
shoulder thing and shit.
know.
Like, why are you acting like sit still? Don't move, Like, but yeah, and it's that energy where it's like, dude, like you think that that's the ultimate thing for? It's like, bro, no. And
No
I think,
shade, but I just don't. That's not. I mean,
right, right, it ain't enough. There's so much more,
like
There's so
Kendrick
much more.
Lamar said, it's not enough.
Yeah, and that, and I can't remember who it was when I was in the Ed Balloon space. Dude said that like, oh, websites are for boomers, just use social media and this and that. And I'm like, bro, that's like saying,
Ooh,
hey,
wow, what a.
save money on housing by couch surfing. Like, that's what that felt like.
That's exactly what that sounds like. That's like
Yeah.
peanut butter and jelly wisdom.
Yeah. Right. Right. And I'm like, listen, fam, like, like I make money off social media, you know, okay, but I'm not gonna stop there. I'm gonna take it to another level, you know, and I'm not gonna stop there either. Like I'm gonna keep going, like until I fucking can't go no more, you know. Aside from like selling my instruments and my equipment, I'm gonna use these
Till
to
the
make
wheels
enough
fall
money.
off.
Yeah, exactly, right. So yeah, I think it's important if you're an independent artist. Right now, Web3 makes so much sense. It makes so much sense because it fills the gaps that are left open by the band camps, by the distro kids, the tune cores, all that fucking shit. So but I think people are starting to get it with that's like the like the slightest like tinge of that spark. You know, it's not even like the spark yet, but you can see like pieces of the flint like kind of shaving off. You know, that they're like, oh shit, maybe there's something out here other than the DSPs. They might be at Bandcamp right now. They might be just starting to click those rocks together, but they they're edging close to the Web3 fire. I hope. You
Damn,
know,
that's a good analogy.
I hope because right now they're just click, 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 click. No spark yet. No spark. But they got the right idea. They're heading in the right direction.
Yes.
But yeah, it,
So I want
yeah.
to ask you a question. So, like, I did not, I skipped over Bandcamp uh,
Mhm.
entirely. Right? So I don't know about the ecosystem and what it's like, but I'm curious. Is that a place where they share data back with you about your listeners and so on? Do you get a dashboard with stats?
I don't know. I never used Bandcamp before. I
Okay.
mean, I did just to listen to this one like compilation CD
Your
mix.
face right now is so funny. You're like, why? All right, just this one time late at night.
No, I love Ohm Lounge, yo. I love like fucking beach house music. I fucking love Ohm Lounge, and
Oh, so
that's
that's
the
how they
only
got
place.
you, huh?
Yeah, that's the only way that Bandcamp got me. Is all those Ohm Lounge mixes were on there, and I'm like, fuck, I want to listen to Dance Naked Under Palm Trees right now, but I can't find it on YouTube. Bandcamp, okay.
But you know what? That same thing that drew you to buy that song on Bandcamp can draw people to buy uh, an NFT from an independent artist on their website, just like from your own website. You don't, and no shade on Bandcamp. I'm sure they have a lot of helpful things like discovery, right?
I'd assume so.
Yeah, but I feel like independent is is definitely the way to go. But also to well, wait a minute. Let me hold my thoughts and let me get to because it's right. It's actually connected to this last thing that you said. I'll put a pin in what I was about to say and come back to it later. One of the places where I feel Web3 outperforms the traditional modes is connections, peer to peer connections, musician to
Yeah.
peer connections, because you actually have one. If you buy my album off iTunes, yeah, I get a little money because you bought it. Thank you. But you don't get my email or text D or you don't have a connection. You don't have a thread to me that you couldn't have got from Instagram or whatever. You don't have a little thread. I don't have any threads to you is the most important thing because um, they're not showing me your data, you
Mhm.
know? So I feel like this is where Web3 just really crushes it. Because if you bought my album, especially if you bought it with crypto, or if maybe you bought it from a platform that allows you to use dollars to buy an NFT, maybe you did that, right? And maybe a wallet was created for you that you didn't even have to think about, right? But what's cool is I have a breadcrumb back to each listener, and that's something that iTunes could never do without blockchain technology. I don't think I'm going to eat those words because it doesn't really behoove them to share that information because it's centralized platform.
Yeah, and and again, like you talk about a website too. Like I know when I get a purchase, I get somebody's email. You know, I can contact them, and Wix has it set up too, so that I could like send like a SMS message out as well. You know, which is pretty cool. But it's like you said, like with, and I'm not really sure how it works on Bandcamp or whatever, but um, you, yeah. All right, yeah. So I don't know how it works on Bandcamp, so I can't really say. But as far as like connecting with your people and rewarding them even more so with crypto, you could just airdrop anybody who's done this from here to here. Boom, you're in the snapshot. Boom, airdrop. There you go. Um, and granted, that's still a bit limited to the point where you can't, and unless their wallet is, has like a name, let's say, have like a name and service connected to it or something, have their name on it, or they're paying attention to the port where they can see like messages. And I know you were saying that you uh were using that in place of email.
Oh well, I was looking at it to see like if it was a alternative to doing airdrops, because like when you airdrop something to someone, it goes into this, depending on where they look at their stuff, right? It
Yeah.
goes into this kind of default overflow inbox for NFTs. So even airdropping people, it's not perfect, right? But so what I was looking at is, there is such a thing as blockchain email. Email, every Ethereum address can also be an email address if it's like set up a certain way. There's a way to like send messages to a wallet. If you have a Coinbase wallet, you've probably gotten these messages. I don't know if you were expecting them or not. I certainly wasn't at first. But I like this because it allows a person to take action in their wallet. But I also understand how maybe this could make someone feel insecure. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's not perfect. But, if all I want to do is send you a message and tell you about something that you could get and give you an opportunity to claim it, it's much more convenient for you to be able to do it right inside your wallet instead of sending you an email, which you may or may not open. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm
No, I
looking
hear you.
for, and this is probably a halfway step to something else. The next iteration of blockchain communication.
Yeah. No, yeah. And and that's what I think needs to get like smoothed over, because if so for example, like the thing that I did on Drip where I was like, hey, the top donor will get a CD, if that was strictly through, like Ethereum, it would, and if this person didn't have their name on that wallet or something, it would have probably been difficult for us to get in contact with each other, for me to get their address, for me to send them the CD, But thankfully, the way that Drip House had everything set up, they had an account on Drip, which was then connected to Twitter, which allowed me to boom, pretty easily get in touch with them. And granted, that's a bit web too. It still allowed me to, um, let me step that back a bit. Like, yeah, the delivery method for the CD and everything was a bit web too, but the fact that I was able to do a snapshot, you know, and be like, okay, the top donor of whatever the crypto, the droplets, cryptocurrency, all that, that's very web three. That's a very web three process. But the fact that I can kind of take the best of both worlds, make it happen, so I can get this physical item to them pretty easily, um, was that to me was like really smooth. That was awesome. And granted, it took some elements of Web 2 to do that. I don't see, like a SoundCloud, or maybe I guess SoundCloud could do that, so you could message them or whatever, but Spotify ain't doing that shit. Uh, is Bandcamp letting you do raffles and do snapshots and do all that type of stuff? Probably not, you know. So yeah, I think that just like you said, with the connection and everything, with the peer to peer side of all that stuff, Web 3 solves so many fucking problems. People, you see people complaining about you're like, oh man, I wish we could do this. It's like, dude, we've been doing this shit for fucking years. It's going on half a decade. Like, I'm entering my 5th year in the blockchain now. I'm half a decade up in this shit. and y'all still talk about Bandcamp. Ah, ah.
Oh, you know what I think it is like not, you know, like I say, I'm a nerd, and one of my nerdy delights is, staying abreast of like all the latest technology. And the thing about Bandcamp is Bandcamp was the shit for a long time. There was nothing else like it that was doing it, and I think maybe uh, the people who say you're not using it, it's because they haven't looked to see like the new disruptor. I think Bandcamp was the old disruptor, and now we've moved to the new disruptor.
Sure, yeah. And
And,
you know
and
what?
and maybe Bandcamp will continue to evolve, and it will become a disruptor again of something. Everything has to continue to evolve.
Yeah, and I think that it still has its place too.
Sure.
Like you can still use that, but again, I think that the ultimate way to go is website and blockchain. And if you can have your website integrated with blockchain, even fucking better. Because then
And
you
if
can
you
get. Oh, sorry. What's up?
No, I'm sorry. I was going to say, and if you can have your blockchain website on Bandcamp, then there you go.
Yeah, right. There you go.
For
There
real
you go.
though, isn't that the ideal? That's the
Yeah, I
ideal, isn't
mean,
it?
because, and I get why people use Bandcamp or use these other things because it's like, and you know what? I can't really say I haven't put anything up on Bandcamp,
What
so I'm
did
just
you
gonna.
what did you use? So let's get off Bandcamp real quick. So did you
Okay.
use CD Baby, or what were the what were the things you used?
Yeah, so I use CD Baby, but just as a distributor and as somewhere I can make my CDs. They had to set up pretty easy for you to because I did all this stuff back in 2010. Fuck, god damn. Ugh. Um, hold on, I'm having an existential crisis right now.
Okay.
Hold on, but no, I'm fucking around. But no, like
Uh,
it it was difficult to get a barcode on your stuff back then. It was tricky to get CDs made. You'd have to do everything all separately. You know what I mean? You have to get your barcode, then you have to get that put onto the album artwork. That you also have to have somebody do your album artwork, and then you have to get the whole CD put together, and that would be like several entities you'd have to deal with. So CD Baby back then was great because GodCloud had just came to be, and I was, tinkering around with my music, and I finally got something that I was like, okay, cool, I'm proud enough to put this out. Let's do this. Um, Started GodCloud Records and publishing, and went at it. So back in those days, I just used CD Baby as somebody to make me my CDs pretty
it was your
easily.
distribution channel.
Yeah, and also get it onto iTunes, Spotify. There was only like a few streaming platforms at the time. It wasn't like a ton like there are now. You know,
Delivery and distribution.
yeah. So I got big box CDs. My stuff is up on everywhere you could stream it. I'm like, hey, I did it. Like I did it. So and once I did that, I was obsessed with like and again back then iTunes was paying okay. I mean, not they weren't paying like a lot, but it's like shit. Songs are $1.29. If you do your paperwork right, you'll get the dollar. You'll get the whole dollar for yourself. And I'm like, okay, cool. You could sell an EP, $5. Like I was just looking through some of my old sales, and it was like I would get like 4.96 for the $5, EP or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like that was cool back then, and I was like, all right, cool, I'm doing my thing here. But then they changed it all. They changed it all. And they're like, nope, nope, none of this dollar shit.
Now you'll get 0.0000009
Yeah,
after
which is
1 year.
crazy.
No, I'm kidding.
No, it might as well be it. This shit's nuts. Um, so yeah, I use them, and uh, as far as the social thing, I would really pump on YouTube a lot. And I think my mistake that I made back then, which I just now realized, was I wasn't putting the music out that I so the music I would make on that I would put on YouTube, that's not what I was selling on iTunes, you know? And not like they were like drastically different, but
But it didn't track.
yeah, it just wasn't, because people were like, oh wow, this is great. But then some people were like, well, wait a minute, like I thought,
Song A. I want song A.
right, which is, I don't know why I did that. I probably should have just taken those songs and put on YouTube, made an album with that, and then just posted that up. You know what I mean? But I don't know why I didn't do that. But
It
yeah,
was
so
market research.
yeah. But it did get people going and checking the stuff out. Some people would go buy the stuff or whatever, and I did have a team backing me back then too, out of France, which were helping me track and get a lot of numbers also. But yeah, I never invested really in a band camp. I've always kind of done this thing of I'm gonna hit the social media super hard, get my face every fucking where, and then I'm gonna tell everybody if you want more, it's over here. And that evolved from it being iTunes to now being my website and whatever Web3 shit that I'm working on.
So this was one of the parameters that I selected, and it sounds like you're saying like you feel like here's another area where Web3 outperforms the traditional modes, which is that there's a capability to make more money using this mode of Web3 and higher earning potential.
Yeah, 1,000%. And not only that, but I think it's slowly but surely forcing the industry to reevaluate the price of music. And I wouldn't even say the industry. I think just listeners in general, consumers in general, are thinking like, damn, I don't own anything. I don't own any of my favorite music. Like, what's crazy? What tripped me out? They've
When all of
got
your music disappeared during that kerfuffle with the artists.
no, but this right here, the fact that John Coltrane's Love Supreme is selling at fucking Walmart.
What does
Like,
that signify? What's the signal? What does that signal to you?
okay, that an avant-garde jazz record, a vinyl, is at Walmart. That shows
Vinyl?
vinyl. Yeah, I'm like, what? Like, for the record, no pun intended. I downloaded that shit off fucking SoulSeek in like 2000 something. But it was such a good record, and I want it back. Fuck, I'll buy John Coltrane at Walmart. I can't even believe I'm saying that right now. I can't even believe that my brain just put those words together and popped it out of the conveyor belt that is my freaking mouth right now.
Why is this such a big deal? I don't understand.
It's because people want physical shit again. People want to own shit.
Ooh, I
Want to
got
own
you.
this shit.
I got you, my brother.
You
Got
feel
it.
me? I know that's kind of like a roundabout thing, but that's like what it all like kind of boiled down to. It's that like, yeah, I downloaded this record off of a torrent, site, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people in my generation did. But now we're out, shopping for our babies and buying, onesies. Well, she doesn't wear ones; she wears like footy pajamas or whatever. But damn, like Daddy's having a minute, kiddo. John Coltrane, Love Supreme, right here. It's got that. Yo, whoo, whoo. smoke.
You know I'm
But
listening to it as soon as we say goodbye. I can't wait to
you
hear
haven't
it.
heard it? Oh my.
No, no, I mean I have, but what I mean is I can't wait to hear it today again. Like after
Okay.
seeing you just go. Boo, boo, boo,
Yo, that riff is so fire, yo. And he just blows up right into it. Man. I love that shit, yo. I fucking love that shit. And you know who's got some filthy ass shit? Um, Ornette Coleman. What's the name of that song though? It's got that. I love the like the hits and then yeah.
the slides.
What the hell is the name of that song? Whatever. It don't matter.
Dang.
But yeah,
People are buying
people.
physicals again, and you're talking
Yeah,
about music. Isn't this crazy though? Physicals. Oh my god, just stop. That's hilarious. People are buying
yeah,
physicals again. Wax. Wow.
and not even and like yes, the physical of it, but we're in a digital age, and people want to own me. I feel so naked, like that. Like damn, a show that I like is on Netflix or Hulu or whatever. This happens to the baby all the time, which I feel so bad because she'll be watching something and then it'll pop up say, oh well, this is going off the air in 2 weeks, or we're not carrying this anymore in 2 weeks, and now it's like shit. It's like a mini panic in the house. Like, like every adult is at the table like a war room. Like, okay, listen, they're taking freaking ponies or whatever off of Hulu. So what are we gonna do? Like, all right, Grandma, what do you think? Like, okay, Grandpa, what do you think? All right, great Grandpa, what do you think? All right, cool. Now listen, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna all go on our phones. We're gonna look and we're gonna see where we can find this shit. You stream it over there. You stream. You know what I mean? Like, it's always this fucking like panic and this powwow, this shit that happens every time she loses a show. But if there was a way that we could buy the show for her and have a digital, version of it, that'd be great. And that's where I think we're at. People want to own digital shit, NFTs, blockchain, whatever the fuck lets you do that. My website lets you do that. You buy GodCloud on Doomsday, you can download the files, keep it forever. Hey, but but yeah. So I think it's like the necessity to own shit in a digital world is where Web3 reigns supreme. No pun intended. I love Supreme, reign supreme.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's a bar. It's another bar. You just dropping them bars today, God Cloud. Well, okay, so it's interesting that you use this example of the films that your daughter likes because one of the things that I thought was super interesting about blockchain entertainment, and I'm very excited, to bring this and other shows to Rad TV, right? Which is like blockchain TV, right? And so one of the things I think is so spectacular is when people buy certain movies or whatever. Like at some point, your daughter's not going to want to watch those pony things anymore. But if they were NFTs, you could sell them on secondary.
Oh, right.
because
Yeah.
because when you buy like DVDs and stuff, like the media that we used to purchase was expensive. It used to be expensive. It used to be like $30 for a DVD, or maybe if you find it on clearance, you can find them for $10. But still, if you're a person who loves movies and these kinds of things, you end up with stacks and stacks of media. And at sometimes you do outgrow an album, or you literally listen to it a million times, and you've integrated it into your being now, and you don't need to hear the song anymore. Or your friend gave you another copy, so now you've got two, or whatever. There's always like these reasons where you want to liquidate. You're moving, you're leaving the country, whatever. You're sworn off country music because you don't want to cry anymore. Um, but how cool would it be if you could take these assets, these physical assets, RWAs that you've acquired, and put them on secondary? Wouldn't that be amazing?
Right. Right.
And here
No.
we are doing this thing.
And and I think that's what people need to kind of wrap their head around. And I think we were kind of talking about this before. too. It's like some people are just so set in, their ways, and them them partaking in what we're doing will be like an admission of, damn, I could have been doing this for years. I've been wasting my fucking life, but that's neither here nor there. But I think that as of now, from what I've been seeing from, I can't remember who had the article, the New Yorker, it was the New Yorker. They were talking about a big exodus from Spotify, um, that then there's a video of this girl who's talking about how she's having issues with her distributor, with her music distributor. And granted, it wasn't necessarily, it was like more of like an IP thing, but you're seeing all these problems that people are starting to kind of, openly talk about with these traditional sources or music distribution entities and whatever. And blockchain's starting to look pretty good about now. It's almost like that person you went to school with. They had a crush on you. You didn't have a crush on them. You were like, oh, get away from me. But then they lost weight over the summer. You know what I mean? And now it's like, oh, damn. Oh, shit. Like, oh, they look kind of good now. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what blockchain and Web3 music has done. It went got nose jobs, started working out. It's like
That's hilarious, and it's only gonna get better and better looking, and then it's gonna be like, whoa, blockchain, look at you, and blockchain's gonna be like,
yeah. Habla la mano.
blah, la, malo. That's hilarious. Well, there's only two categories left that we covered today, and like we said, this is not exhaustive, but these were I saved the best for last. I mean,
Okay.
kind of the best for last. Um, Number one, more utility. Definitely, the on-chain music has like so much utility. I feel like we've like proven it over and over again, even just in this conversation, compared to the song that you don't even own that you're renting when you get it from Spotify or something like that. When you have it on-chain music, it's like you're owning it, but then you have all this additional utility depending upon the artist and what they're offering to provide. But what I love about it is it's retroactive. Like there's always an opportunity to go back and do something. So retroactive rewards is something that I really love because in this way, you don't have to do everything on the upfront, and it allows for just so much creativity with infrastructure and in whole new ways. Um, Utility, I think that's like a huge way where it crushes.
Yeah. And that's something that you never heard about in Web2. You never heard. And I know it kind of started to become a stigma. It's like, oh, well, does my stuff need to have utility?
Oh,
And
it
it's
was so annoying for a while. You're like, I'm sharing a photograph of this is my firstborn child, and someone's like, does it have utility?
yeah, right. No, for real though, Um, and that's what got, uh, like, it got me to the point where I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm not even trying to add utility to my shit. Like, I don't want to have to be bending over backwards for you to buy my fucking music. Like, if anything, let's do something fun with, with letting you get access to stuff early. Like GodCloud on Doomsday, I'll tell you this. I've probably, God damn it. Okay. I've probably released this record in Web3. Let me see. Twice. Twice. Well, you know what? This last time, it's not in Web3, but I'm more so in Web3. So, GodCloud on Doomsday has been released 3 times. Okay, twice in Web3 and once in Web2 on my website now. Right. The first time that no, 3 times in Web3 and one time raw. I mean, God damn it. And one time just on my website.
Where can we get the raw release, God Cloud? What's the raw release?
It's on GodCloud.org. It's on GodCloud.org.
Is raw the godcloud.org? Is that raw?
Yeah, it's yep. That's where it
Released
goes
it
down.
raw.
I don't know why I said
I
that,
don't know either, but I love it now. I want a
but
T-shirt. I
but
released
yeah,
it raw. Maybe I
so
like it raw.
when I when I released, not when I released. Well, one of my first NFTs, right, was the footage of me getting arrested. Right, I had the ring footage.
Daddy,
Hey, kiddo, Daddy's almost
how
done.
will we get right here?
How'd Rudy get right here? I was showing Rudy.
She wanted to say hi to everyone on the live stream.
Sorry. Okay, we will, kiddo. I love you.
No.
All right. Few, okay, few minutes and we'll find them. But yeah, so I was like, hey, whoever buys this NFT of the ring camera footage of the freaking federal marshals coming to my door, you will get
That is,
copy of
I
my
would have
record.
wanted that. I want
And I
that.
don't even think, yeah, I don't even think I called it GodCloud on Doomsday yet. I don't even think that it got that name yet. But I
Is
was
it
like, you get
weird that
my
I
new
would want to
upcoming
collect that
EP.
kind of thing?
What's that?
Is it I was like, I would totally want that. And then I was like, is it weird that I would want that video?
No, dude, people were flipping out about that, yo. Somebody, yeah. So it's funny. Dude who got it, he's actually from here. He's pretty prominent in the ENS community too. But yeah, he's like one of the like, what do you call it? Whatever. He's got a lot of ENS token, but he's the one who got it. And ow, hey, careful. Hey, hold on, honey. That is almost a promise. I promise. So.
Sucking and killing, darling. I did it.
Okay, well, can you not stab me, honey? So, yeah. So, hey, Dylan. Hey, chill out, kiddo. So, yeah, so that was the first iteration of GodCloud on Doomsday, right? That went with that. But then I was like, I want to get it. I wanted to remix and remaster. Oh, honey, that's got spray paint all over it. Don't touch that.
What is it?
It's Daddy's son, so careful with that. But yeah, then the next time that I did it was was with I did these 16 NFTs that were supposed to be the precursor to a PFP project that I was working on that I wanted to build called Drummies, but I just never got to. That never happened. The full PFP project of it never happened, but that's a whole other story. But everybody who got it got access to a drive folder in which you could see every time I go to the studio, the engineer would send me the current mix and it would go into that folder. So it would get updated all the time.
That's killer.
So, yeah, right? So everybody who got that got to see me work on GodCloud on Doomsday until it was done.
That
And
is
then
so killer.
yeah, and then they kept the access to the folder. And those files are what ended up getting released on Record Shop, right? So for Record Shop, we did instrumentals with the actual song, or with the full song with the vocals and everything. And then there was a video of me just talking about the, about the song, whatever, right? And yeah, and you're not doing stuff like that outside of Web3. I mean, you could, I guess, but
No. Who has the think about how much money it would cost to technically do that, put that together, that's like an enterprise level
yeah.
CRM. That's an enterprise level CRM that some artists would have to build. Not happening. What's GodCloud saying?
I'm trying to avoid this tantrum.
Well, luckily we only have 1 point left, and it is the very best. It's the one that Dylan is actually exhibiting right now. Can you guess what it is? Freedom of speech. His face right now is so hilarious. It looks like music to his ears.
Oh boy.
Freedom
Okay.
of speech.
Oh yeah.
Freedom of
Okay.
speech is the last one on the list. That's why I was saying, oh, Dylan's showing us right now. It's freedom of speech. That was the last area where Web3 on-chain music crushes the traditional music modalities because we have freedom of speech with our music. We can express ourselves duly without the platform, saying you can't put this music, you can't put that music. So that was the last area where I feel like where it really crushes it. What are your thoughts there about?
Oh yeah. 100%. Like obviously um there's nobody to really like tell you what to do. I guess there are some, I guess platforms could say, hey, we don't want this or that on our platform, but again, if you are interacting directly with the blockchain, then you can do whatever the hell you want. Um, and just to make this point too, I know a lot of people think that like platforms are your only access point to the blockchain, but that's not true. You can get your website or whatever however you want to connect to the blockchain, you can connect to it directly too. And that's something that I think that that's what I want to start exploring. That I want to get my website like Web3 compatible, so you can connect the wallet and do whatever you want to do. So yeah, Web3, it's open, and if you're looking for complete sovereignty over your I guess over parts of your business model, so I think the other points are important to use, but I feel like if you want sovereignty over like the core points of your business model, then
The infrastructure.
then Web3 is the way to go with that. But and I'll throw this out there too. It's like trademarking, publishing, all that stuff is still very important. I just want to throw that in there. Um, I know a lot of people were thinking like back in the day too, like, oh well, I can do whatever I want here, so let me put this Disney shit in here, or let me do this Nike shit. You know what I mean? And
I don't understand that mentality.
yeah, I don't
Like
know.
I don't understand that mentality of yeah, I don't get that. Like I that doesn't track for me. But anyway, yeah, trademarks matter, and definitely whatever we're creating, we
God
want to
damn it! Did
trademark
I
our
freeze
stuff.
again?
No, you're not frozen.
Fuck.
You're not frozen. You're not frozen. He's gonna come back.
I don't know why I keep getting
You
freaking.
weren't frozen for me, but I was frozen for you, huh?
No, yeah, I keep getting fucking calls from this Rochester Presbyterian, It's like, dude,
They
every
want
time
you
I
to
call,
come and rock the house.
they're always like, oh shit, sorry, and they hang up. But oh, I did find this local, I wouldn't even call it gospel music, but it was this big church music guy, Christian music guy from here. I found a record of his just in the garbage walking around, and it was from some church like kind of far out from here, but apparently the church helped him put together a record back in like the 60s, and I found one of the vinyls, and I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. This is an artifact. um, but yeah, but it's not them who's calling. But yeah, sorry for the
That's an
tangent.
incredible story.
Yeah, for real, right? I think
In the
I can't.
garbage?
Huh?
In the trash?
Yeah, some like when people clean out houses, they just throw all the stuff on the curb.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, but okay, baby's coming back. But yeah,
No, but
free
seriously,
speech,
but we got them all.
honey.
You hurt my feelings.
Oh, you're in trouble now, GodCloud.
I'm sorry, okay, baby, we'll find
She
out.
can't find someone? Rudy's missing?
Huh?
Rudy is missing? Is Rudy missing?
No, Rudy's the Nutcrackers. So she had Elf on the Shelf came to visit, and when Elf on the Shelf had to go, Elf on the Shelf found some Nutcrackers that I had when I was a little kid. So I guess the Nutcrackers were at the North Pole, so Elf on the Shelf brought them back. So because
Oh.
Elf on the Shelf had to go back to the North Pole, so he dropped off the Nutcrackers. So
Oh.
the Nutcrackers have been, I guess, fighting the mice, So we got to go find out and make sure that the nutcrackers are okay. So that's what we got to go do.
Oh, well, I hope they turn out to be okay because I love mice.
You want to play a game? No.
She says she hopes they're not fighting again.
Oh, fighting again, yeah.
That's all right, honey.
Adorable. Well, GodCloud, I see you have important business to take care of, so until next week, my mon frere.
All right. Uh-oh. Hold on. All right. Well, all right. Yo, everybody, thanks for tuning in. We love and appreciate y'all. We'll check y'all next week. Peace.
Oh, good one, Dylan. That's right.
Yo, look, we got some
You
confetti.
star, you star. Oh my gosh. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a treat when the baby cloud rolls through, hey? Anyway, I hope you have a fabulous weekend. I'm going to be hitting some CES events tonight with my girl, Creatress, and I'm super excited. You're going to see me, Creatress, and Belle. We're going to be hitting the town. We're going to be doing all the events. We're going to be checking out all the equipment. We're going to be listening to all the panels. We're going to be taking notes and writing down all the interesting things, and we'll have interesting things to report back to you. Take care of yourself. Take care of your friends. And I'll see you soon. My name is Maxximillian, and I'll be back on Tuesday with my friends Fiona, Berhanu, Bit Savage. Who knows? Maybe some of our other friends like Creatress will join us. Who knows? Maybe Vessa will join us. And maybe you. I look forward to seeing you then, my friends. Until again.